Good morning. Welcome to your daily collective astrology forecast. My name is Astro Queen, and this is where I tell you what your day is going to look like and if the stars are on some shit or not. And honestly, it's not going to be that bad. We've got the moon and Mercury conjunct in Cancer, both of them square Saturn, right? So with that being said, emotionally, we're kind of having to look at how we emotionally interpret shit, and then how all of that plays into how we communicate, because the moon and Mercury are conjunct each other, and Mercury's in a preshadow period. So when it comes to your language surrounding your emotional processes with money or relationships or your children or your sense of self, how do you talk to yourself and how do you talk about those subjects? Could your language use some refinement? I know mine sure could. And so, yeah, that's going to be kind of a focus with this transit. Saturn in Aries is asking for you to build your life in a way that's good for you and good for like your limitations, what you have going on. It's just, it doesn't need the input of other people, because the Aries energy is forcing you to stand 10 toes down by yourself and your shit, right? But we've got Mercury in Cancer and now the moon in Cancer going, okay, so we understand that, but we need to think about how our emotions play into how that structure is built. And while Saturn may not be the most patient deity in the world when it comes to getting things done, Saturn does rule over time, and time can, well, take a long time. So Saturn does have patience. It just needs to be a productive patience. There needs to be something happening there, right? So with that being said, you'll know if this transit is working with you or not by how irritable you are today, because that's generally how this transit works. We got Venus over here entering a pretty direct trine with Neptune and Aries, and then almost in a pretty direct opposition with the Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So when it comes to our relationships as a whole, right, we might have some fairy tale-esque thoughts about it, right? Some Disney princess shit, if you will. We might be putting people on pedestals. We might be looking at people with rose-colored glasses, right? Because that is Venus trine Neptune. But what's also Venus trine Neptune is, like, idealizing career goals. Having rose-colored glasses over career and things of that nature, and creativity and money and this and that and the other. So with this transit on the board over here, this opposition to Pluto, Pluto's burning all of that shit down in the process. So this can lead to very frustrating energy if your goals don't turn out the way that you want them to. But it's also a callback to pay attention to reality, babe, because you may have been fantasizing some shit. I know that one stings a little bit. Me too, fam. Me too. If your reality does not match what was in your head and dreamed up, right? Because Neptune, dreams, right? What about the dream can you bring to reality? Because the North Node is still in Pisces, the South Node is still in Virgo, right? And that's the imagination, the ethereal versus reality and the physical, right? So it's bringing the imagination to life and vice versa. So what about your imagination can you bring to reality? Mercury square Saturn. And what plan can you have to bring it to reality in a way that's actually constructive for you? See how that works? You still got Uranus over here trying the Pluto retrograde, giving you some aha moments and some really good ideas to do that shit with. So yay. Alright, that's about it, y'all. Y'all stay safe out there.